us at the podium, as well as Mr. Provenzano, our superintendent, for that. And after we have that, we'll have Maureen Knupp come up for the national language recognition winners. I hate to have people at our back. So this is awesome. This is a career and technical endorsement is a endorsement is a designation that's in addition to the diploma. So those who have gone above and beyond what is needed for the regular diploma. The intention is to, as outlined by the New York State Education Department, is to prepare students for employment and post-secondary study. Here's what they needed to do to get this endorsement, right? So these students have earned 5 credits in business courses such as marketing, business law, and accounting. They completed a work-based learning experience, passed a national industry standard assessment on 21st century workplace skills, and excelled in a professional interview. So that gives them this designation, showing they've gone beyond and just what it takes to get a diploma in this district. So I will call out these names, and we have their certificates here. If they will please come up, I'll do my best on the names. Ryan Buckley. Ryan Austin. Christopher Chudik. Mark Crane. Tanner Christofouli. Jonathan DeLaus. Gia Denaro. Oh, here we go. William DeRizio. William Fairchild. Jacob Fess. Maxwell Harrington. Bryant Hinckley. Zachary Hook. Patrick Hurley. Thomas Lindstrom. Thomas Nofliglesi. Alexandra Rapp. Nathan Scheel. Matthew Sharps. Jared Smith. Okay. Tyler Smith. Adreed Sykes. Zachary Thomas. Irene Waldock. Perry Wheeler II. Ryan Wicks. Taylor Whalen. And Jacob Woodcock. So big round of applause for these students for going.
Bonjour. I can do it in 3 languages. I can say hello. I'm going to ask Madame Mester and Madame Vandenberg to come forward to present the students. Thank you very much. And students, I'm going to ask all of you, the reason you're really here is to get on camera, right? Can you come down and starting over there in alphabetical order, there's your challenge, because that's how we're going to name you. And that's how we're going to know who you are. So could you all who are coming to be presented for the National French exam, come down, please, and while you're coming down, I'll talk. The National French Contest, Le Grand Concours, is an annual competition sponsored by the American Association of Teachers of French. The students in grades 1 through 12 in all 50 states and abroad take a written exam and compete against students with a similar educational background. Keep coming, because there's a lot of you. Keep coming. A to Z. A to Z.
A's over here?
Just no.
A. A. It's the Canadian way. A. Within Rochester, over 250 students from 6 schools competed at this level, from Pittsford Sutherland, Pittsford Mendon, Penfield, Our Lady of Mercy, Allendale, Columbia, and Fairport. Our students earned 11 of the 44 national medals awarded within Monroe County, and special recognition to 2 of our students who both earned the #1 spot for Rochester. For level 3, it was sophomore Amy Wan, and for level 5, it was senior Matt Blith. So, since I just killed a name, I'm going to now turn this over to the teachers who know how to pronounce their names. So that's my thing. Thank you very much. And then we can give you your
Yes, so
certificates.
yes, and you can help us pass out the certificates too. So we are going to go ahead and call up 2 students to start off who not only got the highest placement for Western New York with no one even tying their scores. So Amy Ron and Matt Blythe, come on up, please. Felicitations, Amy. And Mr. Thierry. Okay, you can go ahead and head away. Felicitations. So before we begin, we'd like to do a couple quick thank yous. First of all, to the parents. We are very well aware that it's not an accident that your children are up here tonight. We found that parents typically either speak a second language at home, or they themselves took the endeavor of learning a second language, and they want that for their child, or they didn't have that opportunity, and they want that for their child. So thank you for your home support. Thank you for administration, as well as our Board of Education. The recent mission statement clearly supported world language studies. That's very intentional, and we appreciate it. Right now we have the German exchange going on. It's the longest running exchange in Fairport. I think it's 35 or 36 years. We have 25 German students. There might be some here tonight. Yesterday the administration did a welcoming breakfast. It seemed like a small gesture, but there was 100% attendance, and we really appreciate your support of our programming here. A quick shout out to some of the seniors for the French students here, as well as, I should say, for German and Spanish, because this exam, it actually starts in elementary school, which we don't participate in, and by this time the students are juniors or seniors. If you imagine a pyramid, it gets increasingly competitive because by the time they're a senior, really, they're competing with the top kids across the nation. So for French, I have to do a call out to these particular group of 6 students. Not only have they placed every year, but they made it all the way through their senior year. It's also, fun fact, most French students tend to be female. This is the only class in my career that has had more males than females. We started right next door in 510, and that classroom's been moved. So a shout out to our seniors, Matt Blythe, who we just recognized, Ryan Kavanaugh, Ite Stuneja, Meg Prokop, Victoria Kwasinski, and Jonathan Lutzer. An incredible group. Congratulations making it all these years. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and recognize the placement students this year. And you want to maybe pass them to Maureen? Okay. And so that we correctly say everyone's name, we're going to pronounce our own students. Okay, go first.
I have the pleasure of calling out the names of my students who have done an incredible job this year by being very motivated and going above and beyond in everything in French. And I'm going to begin, it's alphabetical, and I begin with Ashley Arendt, Jenna Prosperi, Renee Dozier. Are they going up there? Jenna?
Slow down.
Yeah.
Just slow down. Like, where's here? Okay.
All right. Is Renee up there? Renee is right there? Oh, there she is. Okay. Félicitations. 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 So we have Nick Jay-Z. Madison Kelly. Félicitations. That's Emma Kelly, actually, and I beg your pardon there. Félicitations, Emma. Dawson Poso. Claire Powers. Julian Russo.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're missing some of these.
Yeah.
Can you hand them to them?
Yeah, yeah. Henry Stringer. Félicitations à tous mes élèves.
You can hand out for your kids, okay? Sorry, we just put Maureen through the ringer there. We mixed up the orders. Okay, and for French 4 honors and 5 AP, Ethan Bennett. Sarah Farnand. Corey Foster. Marty Gilbo. Ites Juneja. Madison Jazioro. Some fans in the audience. I'm a fan too. Ryan Kavanaugh. I don't think Victoria's here. No. Jonathan Lutzer. Andrew LaPointe. And Piper, I think, was able to hear. Piper Miller? Could you give that to Hunter? To Hunter. Okay. Hunter Lavoy. Could you give that to Hunter? Yeah. Megan McLaughlin. I think Meg Prokop's not here tonight. And Rodrigo Chan. Do we get everybody? No. Oh, hang on. Last but not least. Hang on.
This is Veronica Zenich.
And she has a...
Oh, she gets a silver medal too. Felicitations, Veronica.
And did Renee get her medal? Yeah. Okay, let's give these well-deserved students a round of applause. Merci.
Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you all very much for coming here tonight and being with us. And for those of you who actually said merci to me, I'm so impressed you speak French. Now, somebody has my copy. Somebody has my copy.
Let's see. Should I take it from you?
Okay.
This is for, I have it for Spanish and German. I can get that. I have it here. I know, I'm sorry. Chelsea, did you grab a? Yeah.
Anybody got my copy? Yeah, that's okay. Okay.
Henry is supposed to get a bronze medal. We give it to him.
And now, guten Tag. The National German Medal exam are going to be presented. I'd ask the students who are going to receive good luck on alphabetical order. And I'd also like to ask Frau Roth, I only know her as Mrs. Frau, would come down, please. And would you try again? Alphabetical order will start A over there and Z over here, please. This is, for those of you watching, there are 120 students today getting an award from the Board of Education, so that's why it takes a little bit of time to get us all organized. So thank you for your work. All right. The National German exam is in its 58th year, and as we said before, it's an extensive program with a means of comparing students in all regions of the United States. There are something like 35,000 students who participated in this exam, and our students scored in a large number above the 85th percentile, including placing number 1 and 2, which is an honor to our district and to the German program. Every year we get the Steuben Society Scholarship Award, and these are the students that, again, Frau, you're going to tell us their names and whatever, and we'll go from there. So, and because she pronounces them better than me, so thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. I would like to thank the parents, of course, and students and board members and administrators for support. We have significant amount of students missing tonight as well for German award, because there are some other awards going on tonight. One of them is chemistry award at Nazareth College. So, but I would like also to thank and introduce Frau Buckley. She is my twin sister. She's a middle school teacher, Joanna Perrin and Martha Brown. She teaches German, so we do look like a twins a little bit, right? So she's going to help me tonight. She's a pretty one. She's going to help me tonight because she had all those students in middle school. So I'm proud to have Frau Buckley here with me. So we're going to start with awards tonight. We have quite a number of successes, as you heard. First and second place on the national exam is pretty big. So we have Gabrielle Carpenter for achievement.
So, do you want to pass out those, or you want me to do it?
You know who they look like. I'll go shake the hands.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
and I'll grab.
Okay, we're going to start. We're going to start in alphabetical. We're going to start with Mason Kuzodi for achievement.
Mason.
Mason.
I bet she's going to say you grew. Congratulations.
Anne Marie Smith. Allison DiVincenzo. Cassidy Engelson. Natalie Eckerson.
Where's my net?
Joseph Himmelberg.
Wait.
You must be proud, Grandma.
Wait, you skipped the, wait.
We have Jake Jefferson with the Bronze Award.
Super tall.
Victoria Postler, Bronze.
Take it right behind you. Wait. Hug, hug, hug. Did you get it? Right there. Thank you. Man, get scrolled right.
Miriam Abaji, Gold.
Goal, and hug. Oh, it's winning.
Tobias Deuce, Gold. He's the tallest one. Samuel Liberator, Gold. He won to Band Society Scholarship last year.
Oh, grammar boy.
Colton Gammon Miller. Emma Jefferson, Bronze Award.
Emma, oh, there you are.
Vilja Milekia, Silver Award.
Will, I saw you. There you go. Hug too.
Andrew Bartlett is not
He's not
here
here.
tonight. Colin
Technique's not
McKechnie,
there.
Olivia Markle,
Samson.
Matthew Sampson,
He's not here.
Tobias Meerding, Joe Wiegel. They're the Chemistry Award at
We were
Nazareth.
missing, did we get everybody? No, we didn't get everybody. We didn't get,
Well,
we don't
they must
Gabe.
be stuck.
We don't get Sam. Wait. Wait, check you guys, make sure that nobody got.
Make
stuck
sure that
together.
nobody got stuck.
It's a little humid in here, so they were sticking together.
Who else is missing?
When you're missing Gabe, is that Gabe the only one missing?
And
Just Gabe.
just Gabe.
Gabe.
Gabe, there you go. You get it. Well, I think Gabe's award is in my classroom because RSVP didn't come until last minute. I'll give you tomorrow, Gabe. Thank you.
Thank you. Danke.
Thanks, John.
And buenos dias. We're working on the Spanish award next. So if you would come up to the podium, please. And can I also call the teachers for the Spanish awards? Oh, buenos dias. Now, over here I have a little cheat sheet that tells me what I'm Okay. You can figure out what order you're in because obviously alphabetical didn't work for the Germans.
There's no alphabetical.
There's no alphabetical.
Just stand wherever.
So
And then when you get called, you can just come over to here.
there you go. The National Spanish Exam is also administered each year in grades 6 through 12. They're sponsored by the American Teachers of Spanish and Portuguese. Over 150,000 students have been participated in 2018, and Fairport students earned a grand total of 2 gold medals, 7 silvers, 9 bronze, and 22 students were recognized for honorable mention. They are all in Spanish 3 and 3 honors, Spanish 4 and 4 honors, or Spanish 5 and AP classes. Their teachers, Sarah Shaber, Joanna Funk, Andrea Pacenti, and Renee Ortiz, wish to extend their sincerest congratulations to them, and I'm going to let the teachers again take over to give the awards out to the students because they are best at pronouncing names. So, buenos dias.
Okay, thank you. We would again like to thank the Board of Education for taking the time to honor these students tonight. And again, the parents for supporting these students. Clearly they are very accomplished, as well as the teachers who have helped them to achieve this great honor throughout the year. I'll be reading the names of the students for Spanish 3. So for Spanish 3, we had one gold medal winner, and that was Emily Pollock. Don't think she's here tonight, though, but we're very proud of Emily. We have a few silver medalists for Spanish 3, first being Erin Colaluca. Come on over, guys. I don't know if you guys want to go out front. Yeah, stand up. Silver medalist Emily DeVito. Silver medalist Isabel Ebenhock is not here. Okay. Silver medalist Madeline Keller, who I also believe is not here. And Kyle Norcross is also a silver medalist. Our bronze medalists for Spanish 3 were Zachary Izzo, Aiden Jesus O'Connor, Lanessa Patterson, who I don't believe is here tonight, Neil Raj. Again, these are our bronze medalists. And bronze medalist Massimo Vasta. We also have several students who earned honorable mention for Spanish 3, and those students include Christina Bartusek, Joseph Conway, Olivia Durant, Rachel Fawn, Marissa Flannery, Grace Canali, Gleb Morshuk, Jacob Park, Anthony Roides, Morgan Schwab, and Lauren Westman. I will now turn it over to Renee Ortiz for the 4s and 5s.
Okay, good evening. We're very excited to have another gold medalist tonight, Benjamin Kaplan. Ben, all right, gold medalist. Also want to just add in there that I think he was one of the top in Monroe County as well as New York State for his the grade. He got a 99th percentile on the test. Very rare, so that is so cool. All right, so we're going to move on to our silver medalist for level 4, and that is Shannon Kutchenbach. Shannon Q. We have a couple of bronze medal winners, Peyton Olinsky and Jessica Petty. I don't think either one of them are here tonight, but I'll make sure they get them tomorrow. And we had just about all of the level 4 or 5s that took this did place an honorable mention for Spanish, which was really cool to see that happen. Our numbers overall have grown in the last year since we've been doing this. Is this the second year, I think, or the third? Second or third. Anyway, for honorable mention, we have Kristen Engdahl, I don't think is here. Aruna is here? No. Harrison Hilbert? Yes, is here. Hannah Kopman? Yep, saw you there. Sam Libertor, and it's a dual language guy right here. Maya Pasmino and Haley Sachs. All right, we'll make sure they all get their certificates tomorrow. For level 5, we have silver medalist Anna Danish, who also placed last year. So this is a second medal for her to add to her collection. And we have a couple of bronze medalists, Brennan O'Connor and Diana Spencer, who also, I believe, were medalists last year as well. These are language people. I'm their Spanish 5 teacher, so several of these kids are going on for Spanish for their future, which is even more amazing. Okay, so then we have for honorable mention, we have Evelyn Devoshik, Hannah Gandel, Julia Metz, and Tessa Vasta. Okay, we'll make sure that they all get those, and thank you so much. Congratulations, guys. Muy bien, kudos, bravo. Is there anyone in the crowd that's a parent of any of these kids that could take a picture for us? One quick pic. Here, let's get in there. I'll get up. I'll get on here. I'll hold my medal.
Get closer, get closer.
We're gonna, yeah. All right, come on, guys. We need levels here. Zachary, come on down. Boys, come on. Any of us shorter people get. Come on over here a second.
Shorter people.
There you go. Come on over there. Yeah, but you gotta get down low.
Yeah, just thinking me or no?
There you go.
On language.
Muchas gracias.
All right, nice job, guys. Bravo. Now I want some pictures.
So we don't need the break. They've all kind of left as we went, right?
Well, that's fun. You know how to leave a pricker
In the room. Yeah. Did Kirabel leave?
Nope, he's here.
Is he clear over there? Okay.
I just saw him. I just saw him walk in front of us.
Yeah, there he is over there.
Where'd he go?
Bye-bye.
Oh, there he is.
Congratulations to all of our students and the teachers and everybody who makes this possible, parents. Moving on in our agenda, we have the communication portion of our meeting tonight, and our student advisor is here. Kirabel, we'll give you the microphone.
I just turned it off. I'm sorry, just turn it off, so just push it so the blue light comes out. Yes.
Hello. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Hello. Congratulations to all of our honorees, my peers. That's really amazing what they accomplished. So as we wrap up the year, AP exams just ended last week. Thank goodness for that. I never have to take another AP exam again. Prom was also last week. We have ball coming up this week. A couple of juniors were upset that their prom tickets weren't as cheap as the senior ball tickets, 45 versus 29. I think our senior government students did a well job of lowering the price. And one of the most important things that occurred within the last few days was the DWI driving simulation, which I personally thought was extremely powerful. I thought that it effectively portrayed the effects of irresponsible driving and just captured the gravity of the situation. I appreciated that this year we were able to gather within the lunchrooms and just sort of have an open discussion about that. I think that really resonated with a lot of students. So thank you all for that. Right now, currently, we have student elections going on for student council and all levels of student government for the sophomore, junior, and future senior class. Unfortunately, today, for the junior ballots, there was a problem with the machine, so they have to unfortunately recount the votes for tomorrow. So yeah, my my personal suggestion, this is just my personal suggestion, other schools do use online ballots instead of waiting in lines. Last year, only about 60% of students voted. So I think, yeah. Anyways, another thing that the high school is doing differently this year is they're allowing students to register to become voters, which I think is just an incredible idea. I feel that ever since a few months ago, when students took action on their own behalf and staged the walkout with the help of the administration, which I thought was really grateful of them, there's the climate around FHS and the students has just been different in that they have been more aware of what's going on in the situations, the problems facing society, and just evidence of that is, you know, the Lampion that just came out. Some topics include that of gun control and current politics and the president. So I think the climate around FHS has changed in a positive way, and I think that's really good. I think FHS should continue to register students to vote every year. I think that's a really great idea. Another great thing is the student exchange program. Currently we have the German exchange students who came over, and I personally really appreciate that, the student exchange program, because I believe that a lot of students do, even if we don't take a foreign language, because we are essentially being immersed and forced to interact with new people from different backgrounds and different overall life experiences, and I think that's extremely humbling. So that's pretty much what's been going on so far at the high school, and that's all.
Bill, I'll say that was an excellent report. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have followed Fairport on social media, and I've seen a lot of the candidates for the elections use social media to really deliver their message and their value proposition. I think that's outstanding. Mm-hmm. Pretty fun and a good way to get the word out. And the registration for vote is fantastic.
Yes.
But that's only the beginning, because you actually have to go and vote.
Yes.
Right? So registration is one thing, but going to the polls is another. So keep it up.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you. Great report. I was thinking as a parent as well, the DWI, I'm glad to hear it has an impact on students, because that's one of our concerns typically as a parent, right? And I was thinking of the voter registration as well, because it's part of the President's report, where we can say that the budget passed, right, 73%. At least in my memory, that seems to be the highest. I'm not quite sure how to interpret that, because at the same time we had about the lowest voter turnout, and as a numbers guy, I was like, how do I interpret that? So, Kirabel, to that, right, we had really low voter turnout. We hope people will participate. I at least think voter participation is hugely important for us to understand the will of the people. But either way, really glad that the budget has passed and we can keep moving forward. Just share some feedback I received from parents from time to time, right? The good news side. I had one parent come up to me, lost his wallet. Didn't know where, but was found on school property and returned intact, right? And that's just says something about our staff. So he really appreciated that. And then just other compliments that I get from parents about the interactions with their teachers. I just love hearing it, but I don't think we can say enough. I hope everybody knows, right, we have the Martha Brown redesignation this week on Thursday. Pretty awesome. This is a second redesignation, so the celebration should be big. If the weather cooperates, it's outdoors. And then for obvious reasons, we hear a lot about school safety. The 13 WHAM story I thought was great, Brett. Congrats to you, and thanks for sitting on a countywide committee that you're on, but to what's being done internally. If you don't mind, I wanted to read one of the quotes that they had from Deb Miles, about how we're attacking some things, if that's not inappropriate. It says, we don't want to be reactive in responding to a crisis. We want to make sure we are out in front of it and treating the students and family with the utmost respect, getting them the services they need to stay in a good place. And I love that perspective. I think what can we do so that people don't arrive at some place in life where they think their best option is to kill somebody else. All right, and hopefully that's a better approach. So I love that approach. So thanks to Deb Miles for that, and our police partners, and Brett, to you. And somewhat school safety, I'm not sure if anybody was going to say it, but we learned this week that our transportation department had 100% pass, right, by New York State. Their goal is 90% on our buses statewide. I think it's fantastic that we are 100%. So congratulations to our transportation team that makes sure our buses are always in good order, that students are riding. So safe, things that are safe all the time. Anyway, that's my report. Brett, your time.
Jump at the podium. Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Brett Provenzano. I'm the proud superintendent of this incredible school district. I'm honored to be here, glad to be here. We just had the opportunity to celebrate 120 students of academic achievement and opportunities here in our schools. You know, throughout the year, our board meetings are an opportunity to acknowledge the accomplishments of our students, and you know, the depth and breadth of their opportunities in the classroom, their academic accomplishments are incredible and inspiring. Kirball talked about AP exams. You know, again, more opportunities to meet students where they are and appropriately challenge them. Frau Roth, I had the opportunity, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to visit with the 25 German exchange students and plus the 25 host families here in Fairport for the next 2 weeks or so. These students will be here experiencing our schools. Just by walking around with them yesterday morning, they were amazed. I mean, they have incredible things, I'm sure, in their school system, but they were amazed just, you know, with the first half hour of being in our schools, you know, the environment that we have here and the resources that we have in Fairport. And I know that our students are looking to go to Germany in June as the school year concludes, and they'll be spending some time in those classrooms. So it's a great experience and great opportunity. Proud to be a part of it. Right now we have, you know, many staff, I want to say close to 100, if not more, at the Corporate Challenge. You know, engaging in wellness and making sure that they're taking care of each other and having fun. So I think, you know, that's why we're not as you know, we don't have as many people here because some people are at the Corporate Challenge, which is a good thing. Last Friday, I just have to go into this a little bit to talk about the breadth of our students' experiences. I was at the FHS and I experienced the DWI simulation multiple years. I've seen that, and every single time I see that, it's amazed you can hear a pin drop. And the way that the students are listening and engaging, and our first responders who are our partners come and do this simulation, and it's really touching, and hopefully it does make a difference as we approach prom and graduation season. And then on Friday, I was able to go to Minerva Deland and see a visiting author. This visiting author was named Paul Griffin. He shared an inspiring narrative on the importance of developing your own personal narrative. And again, our students, our 9th grade students, were so captivated and so interested in participating and in hearing a very inspiring story about creating and developing their own story. Powerful. And while that was occurring, the RPO was in Fairport High School with K-1 students here at FHS, entertaining, engaging, exciting our K-1 students throughout all of our schools, the RPO. I was fortunate enough to go to Brooks Hill and see International Day. Now, if you haven't seen International Day at Brooks Hill, it's an incredible experience. Students were learning about the culture areas in the 7 continents, you know, really experiencing it. Our parents were involved, our teachers were involved, and what an incredible, enriching experience. Then I went to a JV softball game. It was their last game of the season. It was a doubleheader. I was amazed that it was their last game of the season. I'm like, wow, we're looking, you know, at the home stretch here. Then there was lacrosse. Varsity lacrosse game, which we competed in successfully. It was a senior night. Students and families came together and recognized and honored the accomplishments of our seniors. But we also recognized Coach Torelli on his 200th career victory. Congratulations, Coach Torelli. And that was my day in a nutshell. And And as I was reflecting upon my day, I was thinking there was so much more going on in the district, and I got a kernel of it, but I had an opportunity to see such a great amount of experiences that our students get to participate in, and I'm honored, and I'm proud of the voice that we have, the voice that we give our children, the voice that we give our staff to participate in the journey of education. Safety and security is definitely on our mind. The last couple weeks, it's been close to home, and I think it's important that we recognize that that is our priority. And as we move along to next year, we will be engaging the PTA, engaging our own staff members in forums, so we can continue to learn from them and listen, and also emphasize the importance of safety and security, making sure that our resources are deployed, meeting the needs of our community. So please stay tuned for that. We'll be doing a safety and security update, or excuse me, a safety and security audit next year, which will be exactly that, taking a look at what we have, look at our strengths, look at areas where we need to continue to improve. That will be run through our district-wide safety team and our emergency response team. So please stay tuned for further updates there. And it's directly related to our strategic planning, which I'll be talking about in a second. 73% approval rate for our budget. That was very reassuring. The past 3 years, it was 71. The first year I was here, 72 last year, and now 73% this past year. It was a tough budget season, but the level of support is greatly appreciated. What was even more appreciated, that 80% or 82% of our community members approved the establishment of a capital reserve fund, and that's responsive to our district advisory council, of that expectation and that mandate of making sure that we take care of our facilities and make sure that our students have the right environment for learning to occur as we move forward. And 78% approved access to our technology reserve. Again, another mandate that expresses the community's interest through our district advisory council to ensure that our students have access to the right technology for learning as a tool. This past year, we had over 2,000 community members participate in a survey. We had over 1,000 school members participate in focus groups. We had 105 school and community members look closely at our school system in the realm of educational programming, fiscal sustainability, and facilities planning. Last week, I sent out the strategic initiatives that the board approved last month. I would hope that people are taking time to read those strategic initiatives. The document is definitely worth reviewing, as it details our aspirations for the future. Particularly, here you will gain perspectives on our expectations for student life in the 21st century, curriculum management, and professional learning. We'll gain insights into the actions that will maximize efficiencies with budgeting and promote sound fiscal and staffing practices, particularly providing us a pathway toward sustainability. We will also, in this plan or in this document, understand our plans for managing district facilities and declining enrollment. We will be studying the Minerva DeLand facility. As this action indicates, we will be engaging in a cost-benefit analysis of consolidating Minerva DeLand with the high school. The Board of Education will be receiving a recommendation from me by early fall and deliberate accordingly on whether or not to keep students in Minerva DeLand or move students to Fairport High School. Nonetheless, if a decision is made to move 9th graders to the high school, it will be within a 3 to 5 year window for this change to occur. So it's not an immediate action. It will take time and planning for that to occur. On a very aggressive side, 3 years. On a conservative side, safe side, 5 years. So within that time period, if the board makes that decision, that's what we will be making that change in particular. Right now, the administrators are unpacking these strategic initiatives, starting to develop the management plan. This management plan will have a very comprehensive task analysis that aligns to the strategic initiatives that will speak to exactly how these initiatives will be accomplished and be shared throughout the next several years. Again, it's a 5-year plan. We'll be having updates in our public forum, whether it's at the workshop or at the board meetings here, on how we are making progress with our strategic planning as we move forward. So we'll be looking forward to that. Lots of hard work. The table's set. Now we're just looking forward to put the work in motion and start showing progress on the work that was occurred this past year. So that's all I have. Thank you very much, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be the superintendent of Fairport Schools.
Thank you, Brett. Any questions for him out of the report? I did neglect to congratulate Judy on, one, surviving the first election, but also being the highest vote getter on top of that. So congrats all around.
Because she's a doctor.
It's very impressive.
Took a lot of you.
I do want to take a minute, Brett, to point out that probably the biggest highlight of your day started at 8 o'clock in the morning before all these other things happened Friday.
Yes.
With the
That's
policy committee.
That's right.
So just do you think that he did all sorts of fun things, we actually got him to work.
Funny he didn't mention that.
I don't know why it wasn't on your top list.
Well, there will be much more. I know we are in banquet season and all the celebrations that are coming up for the last few weeks. Not that my kids are tracking, but it's 12 days for high schoolers, I think, and 18 for everybody else. So
Not that
we're in the
anyone's
home
tracking.
stretch. Not that the kids are tracking, right, for sure. So thank you. Matt, for the Treasurers and Investment Report.
Okay, good evening and thank you. Tonight we have the Treasurers and Investment Report for March 2018. We had a beginning balance of $57.9 million, receipts for the month of 6.4, disbursements at 9.7, for an ending general fund cash balance of 54.7 million. Of the 54.7 million, 47.6 is invested in a combination of treasury bills, CD and insured cash sweep accounts. It's approximately 87% of the general fund cash invested. If you looked at last year's, there's just some timing on state aid in terms of the March payment, which you'll see in the April receipts.
The March payment in the April, of course.
So, thank you.
Thank you. And we are at the approval of the consent calendar, which has quite the list of different things, bid recommendations, all of our minutes, but contract approvals for student transportation, cooperative natural gas, and other bids on there, athletic equipment, the whatnot, so I won't list all those off, but it goes all the way on to, page 6 of 11. All the different booster club donations being made to our teams as well. So anyway, if there is a motion to accept the consent calendar as is. Damon, second. Kevin, all in favor? 7-0. Personnel actions, instructional staff actions, long-term substitutes, teachers to serve as elementary lead teachers, parenthood leave of absence, additional positions, substitute teacher appointments, and teacher resignation. A motion to approve. Damon, second. Joyce, any questions or discussion? Maureen?
Is it just generic language that when we talk about instructional staff action, it says that to become tenured, you must do these things, and yet our first person that we're approving is a substitute? And is that just the language, that paragraph is just generic information? Because the substitute would not be eligible at this point for a tenure appointment, am I correct?
True. We've been advised by our legal counsel to include that at the beginning of all of the instructional staff actions, and so that's why we include it there. But the requirement, you're correct, for tenure only applies to those teachers and teaching assistants who are in full-time positions that are non-substitute positions.
Okay. I just looked at this list and I said, they're not the ones that we're approving for
Correct.
tenure. So I just was asking that question because I did want to make sure we were understanding this part. Thank you. That's my question.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? All in favor? 7-0. B, non-instructional and civil service staff actions. We have new appointments, starting on bottom of page 7, moving on to 8. Personal leave of absence, extension of personal leave of absence, retirement with appreciation, resignations, and a termination. Motion to approve. Judy, second. Marty, any questions in this section?
I just was interested.
Can you turn your microphone on?
One of the people that we're approving to become a substitute, I said, gee, I thought she worked for the district already, and then I had to read down further, and then she resigned. So before she, first she approves, we're approving her to be a substitute, and then she resigns from the full-time position that she has, and she's a wonderful person. So, thanks.
Yeah.
She is, and she couldn't be with us tonight, but shared that she was ready to retire but not ready to leave. So we hope to see her back in substitute capacities.
Very good.
That's great. Anything else? All in favor? 7-0. And we have abolishment of positions, section 7. Motion to approve. Damon, second. Joyce, any discussion, questions in this?
There's no list.
No, it was in the
Oh, it's in
supporting
the-
documents,
okay, I
right?
saw it.
Nothing? All in favor?
Sad,
7.
can we would sadly?
Yes,
Yeah, sadly.
let the minutes show.
Not to mention, they were sad about these things.
And we have our presentation for Transportation Capital Project. Matt?
Yep. Tonight we
New
have
speaker.
George Spinaris with Campus Construction.
Okay.
First time here, so
Got the button.
it's a pleasure to be here. So, I'd like to talk to you about the transportation and the capital improvement project. All right, so the button is, nope.
It's on, it's on. It's just got.
You have to be in
Get a
the
little,
front.
get a little closer to the microphone or turn it towards you.
Will do. Outside. All right, so how do I change this? The right? All right, so this slide has not really changed. I'm sorry about that. I'm a little nervous. Mark is usually more polished than I am. So the total project budget breakdown, 2016 Transport Facility Capital Project and 2015 Capital Improvement Project. The incidental budget stays the same at 1.83 mil. The construction contingency budget is 403. The construction contracts budget is 9,740,000. Transportation facility referendum was 8,957,000, and the 2015 SIP referendum was 782. And this slide has not changed from the previous one. Adjusted construction contingency budget is 403,000. The approved change order totals is 0. There really haven't been any, so we have not moved that number around. So remaining contingency is 403,100. Construction project is about 5% complete. If you've been driving past the transportation building, you'll see some work that's been going on. So the contingency budget is 0 spent. Contract allowances approved total is 0. And right now we're tracking about $66,000 in pending issues. So at Northside Elementary School, site work commenced on March 26th. When I put this together, a lot of the work was still ongoing, but there was mass grading and topsoil being distributed, installation of concrete for sidewalks, and paving of a 4-square court, and hydroseeding. All of this work has been completed. Actually, the grass is growing quite nicely. We've had great weather, so everything is growing, and the grass is coming in. We have a little bit more work to do at the 4-square court. When we actually put the paving down, we had a little bit of a puddle, so tomorrow or the day after, they're going to come in, retop it a little bit to get a better pitch. So we'll be 100% at that facility. Dudley Elementary School, the site work will commence in June. We have a bit of work to do there, probably beginning of July. We'll do one mobilization and complete that work. Transportation building, the construction field office is located now in the bus wash. That has been completed. The site work has commenced on May 8th and includes the following, which is the removal of the topsoil on the north property line, and the gravel was installed in preparation for binder. So, and you'll see some of the dirt is put up on the north west side that we're just holding on to. We removed the fence on the east and west property lines, and we removed the fencing and the all the items that were in front of the building, and just in preparation for the grading work that's going to be done there. The grubbing and the tree removal on the east side of the property line and west side were completed with the removal of all the trees. So now when you're driving down Aralt, you can actually see the facility and it looks quite nice. In addition to these items, the retaining wall was also installed. So when you drive down, again, you can see the transformation of the site. And we're a little ahead of schedule, which is wonderful, and we have a plan to actually speed up the schedule a little bit. So these are some pictures that we have taken. So this is the new sidewalks at Northside. Actually, this area that's gravel-based was infilled with asphalt, and it's part of the 4-square court, so this is a little bit dated. Again, it's hard to keep up with everything going on. New sidewalks at, again, Northside. Again, the sidewalk areas that were completed. We also put in a French drain at the Northside facility also to remove a lot of the groundwater that was there, because it was, and we created almost like a swale to get all the water removed from the site. So this is a picture depicting some of the drainage that was installed. And that's what it looked like prior to the hydroseeding. And this is the 4-square court that was installed. And again, we're going to repave it tomorrow. Again, the 4-square court, different angle. And here's a picture of all the hydroseeded areas, and again, we have actually growth of grass on it, so hopefully it'll take very quickly. Get another picture of the area. And this is the retaining wall that I just spoke about. So we were able to remove, again, all the trees that abutted or was adjacent to the farmland, and the retaining wall has actually been completed and infilled. So again, we're prepping to do additional work on the site. So we are ahead of schedule, and it's coming along quite nicely. And this is, again, we jumped the gun a little bit with the help of the district in moving the buses around. And this is the, actually the electric line that's running up the west side of the property, up to where those transit mixes are. It's going to come across. So again, we are way ahead of schedule on this. And that's pretty much it. Thank you. Any questions?
When you say way ahead of schedule, what does that mean to us at the end of the project? Will this be able to continue moving us forward to finish sooner?
I'm
Is there any
hopeful.
thoughts
I'm
on that?
hopeful of that. One thing when you put a schedule together, some things that you don't have is you don't.
Always hopeful.
Yeah, contingency for weather. Today we lost a day. So any days that we can get ahead is a positive. Once we can get the building encapsulated, we can work inside, and then we can make up time. But right now, weather has been favorable. And again, my end game is to be able to get the district or the transportation building completed earlier. So our schedule is pretty aggressive, and hopefully with the fuel tanks and a few other items, we'll be able to maintain this schedule and hopefully get the building up quicker.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
In terms of the overall project, there's still paving to be done the following summer. So
Absolutely.
there's,
Yes.
you know, there's pieces throughout the project of where, you know, we may be ahead of schedule, such as getting the building up, perhaps being able to move into it and start the demo piece at a different timing than currently scheduled. But there's still paving that's going to take place next summer as well, in summer 19, so.
You mean you won't be done all this summer? You mean really?
I'll be
good
done
news.
early.
Good news.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
The demolition of the existing building, is that going to be done with a wrecking ball, or are you going to have a big implosion?
Neither. It's going to be taken down probably by an excavator of some sort.
That's boring.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he wanted to bid for
I'm in the boring these days.
Take lots of pictures
I
for
like
you.
boring things.
Thank you.
Some of us like the boring things.
Thank you. Next part of the agenda, board discussion and action items. We have board policies, first reading. Motion to approve the first reading of these policies listed. Judy, second. Can't see you. Maureen? Yep, I think Maureen's moving. Any questions about these policies? The changes recommended? No? Okay, all in favor? 7-0. And then the second reading, there was the one on here, right, that booster clubs that you had, Damon,
Yeah,
recommended, but.
So I.
Oh, well, let's get a motion, sorry.
Sorry.
Do things right order. Damon, motion to approve, Maureen, second. Okay, discussion, questions?
So I appreciate the changes to the booster clubs, and I think that looks great. And I saw the media and administrative authority. The problem, 4230 through 4330, those last 5 I couldn't go back and see what the first reading was on those, though, so I couldn't, logistically, I didn't know what to go back and reference to see what changes were made, if any, on the I couldn't find the first reading.
Were they not in our previous meeting?
I looked
packet
for
for
the last
April?
2 months.
Huh.
I couldn't find them, but.
There wasn't changes, they were walked through.
Okay, it might have been a meeting I missed, and then I just couldn't find them, but it's
But I
fine.
don't think we made any changes in language either, so, no. We just said yes.
25th.
So we're supposed to make the changes this week because we didn't make them. Isn't that right?
Did we not approve them? We talked about them.
And then we've got to fine tune it and they should have been last week or the end.
Okay.
Meeting this Friday instead, so.
So do we want to pull those off till the next time?
So you're making a recommendation that 4230 through 4330?
The last, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we agreed that your change, your suggestion was a good one.
For
on
32
the-
for
That was
3260, yes.
3260, and
Yes.
I saw that and I liked it.
And we did that, so, so which one did you want us?
Well, just the last five, 4230 right through 4330, I couldn't find them, actually, and I could see.
I don't think we had changes.
No, they probably are just renewed.
They were on a short list.
Okay.
We just
They
went and
just
said
were up
yes.
for renewal
Okay.
every 5 years.
All right.
And so there were no changes. We
Okay.
just
All
kept
right.
them as is and
Okay, great.
renewed.
That's good, thanks.
So we're good with those?
Yep.
Okay, all in favor? Second reading, 7-0. Internal audit report. Motion to approve the internal audit report was provided. I'll make that motion. Second. Maureen? And any questions, discussions? Overall, I'll say is, once again, for the Audit and Finance Committee reviewed it, there was nothing, right? No major issues. So Matt, once again, don't get tired of saying it, congrats and thank you that everything goes so smoothly and that there are no findings, because that's what we all want, stay out of the news. So, well done, but if there's no other questions, motion to approve the audit, accept the audit. 7-0. And then we have a motion for budget transfers with some backup documentation have been provided earlier. So motion to approve the transfers. Judy, second. Damon, any questions or discussion on these? Everybody read it? Okay. All in favor? 7-0. Claims auditor reports. Need a motion to approve those. We went over 3 months' worth in the Audit and Finance Committee, so these are being presented to us now. Motion to approve. Joyce, second. Marty? Any comments, questions? These look similar every month in terms of what we see, in terms of findings, and they're just, I don't know, what are they mostly, Maureen, what would you call them, or clerical type things, and our auditor's very good. She catches, seems like everything, doesn't matter size or whatever,
Wrong
duplicate
addresses.
checks, wrong addresses.
Little changes
Yeah.
that don't impact necessarily the bills get paid, but they get paid properly. You don't have other things, they go to the right places.
Right.
That there's the audit, the paperwork follows the paperwork. And that's one of the key things is, oh, I don't see a request for this or something for that. And so she tracks those things down.
Signature approval is the work, so
Mhm.
everything's in order. So with that, all in favor? 7-0. Intermunicipal agreement with Monroe Number 1 BOCES. A motion to approve that agreement? No, nobody? Okay, Marty and Judy, second. Any questions on this agreement?
This was, I tried to read it, I tried to it's multi-layered though, and you wouldn't expect it would be. Maybe you could just talk about this a little bit. This is fueling of our buses while they're in transition during the construction.
Yeah, so our transportation department reached out to BOCES. We work collaboratively with BOCES, and each district within the BOCES, we all work to help each other out as best we can. And in this situation, our department worked with Monroe One BOCES, and we were able to put together an agreement with them to allow us to fuel at their site, specifically more so for the summer. We're also, as I mentioned before, going through a bid, and the bid's out there right now to bid out fueling on-site for our buses during the school year. But this is for us to fuel primarily at BOCES. I know the agreement goes to August of 19. That would cover us next summer as well. In talking with the business official over at BOCES, she and I discussed this, and we're good making that for the, essentially the 14 months.
Okay.
So.
I did see that there was insurance policies that we needed to take out.
We do. That's standard. Those are standard pieces. Anytime that, you know, if a district's going to fuel on our site, we require insurance, just like, you know, we'd have to provide them certificates of insurance to show that we're insured.
That's not additional insurance though, right? It's just providing them a certificate of evidence that we are insured.
Yes.
And then I did see that there was like a $10 fee per chip. I forgot what the term was. It's like a chip key, right? So each bus driver.
So they can track what we fuel, so they can bill us accordingly. So without the chips, they wouldn't be able to bill us.
Okay. Do we use that same technology?
We do similar. We have similar. We bill similarly an admin fee when we have people fueling here as well.
Okay.
So yeah, we need to track. Otherwise, you know, we wouldn't be able to track who's fueling.
Sure.
Yep.
Just wondering. Can I bring my chip by?
No.
Good luck.
All right.
No, you can't.
To be clear, no.
You wanted to make sure that was on microphone.
Right. Thanks.
Okay, other questions about that agreement? All in favor? 7-0. Textbook approval, there were two, right? What's that? Oh, you have them. Very good. Can you read them? Not so much.
That's the teacher's guide, so in the teacher's guide, it's written in English, but when the students look at it, it's all written in the language. I thought that was just an interesting tidbit. I was like, oh, okay.
We're not having discussion yet.
No, I know, I didn't get it, thanks.
Sorry.
I didn't get a motion to approve, yeah, P.
You asked.
Motion, I know I shouldn't have. Motion to approve, Joyce, and second Damon. Now discussion.
Well, I just noticed, of course, I read the description of the textbook, that they all have audio-visual components to them, and I just, you know, I would be curious, maybe you can just talk about that a little bit, but I mean, how are the books used? Like, are they taken home? Are they accessed remotely, or, you know, online, or? They're books. I didn't realize they're books, but they're multimodal.
Got an expert in the field.
Okay.
Yeah, so language learning is just.
Could you come up to a microphone?
Can you hear me?
Would you mind if you come up to the microphone, just in case anybody else is out watching
There's
this?
4 people watching online, so.
Stand there and push the button.
The blue button.
Yes, hello. Okay, great. Yeah, so language learning has really revolutionized since we were in school. The textbook series now, and we're a good 10 years. Well, this is, I think the German one, honestly, is almost 20 years old. French is 10 or 12. Since the invention of the internet, now the use of technology is incredible. So the students have access at any point on any device to almost anything on the textbook. Both the series have like automatic, you know, like little flashcards, little quizzes they can take. They're very scaffolded. I can speak more to the French than the German one, but they have sort of remedial materials, mid-level materials, and then accelerated materials for the students. So for French, there's also a lot of audio. Our former series had almost no audio component, so the students very rarely ever heard native French, which is problematic because you're constantly searching for sites on your own. So every month there's current events in there, and the students can actually go in and they can pace themselves. They can actually slow that down to this, or they can go, ah bonjour, ça va, je comprends bien. Ah bonjour, you know, they can take it to the level. They're ready to hear it. There's scripts, so it's very. Both of them are very interactive. I know the German one has some type of capability where the students can communicate directly with each other. There's also voice recording capability, so a student could be going home on the bus, and if they had a cell phone, and of course they have access to technology at school, they can actually have a conversation with a partner. They can record a conversation remotely to the teacher that I can access. So we can significantly increase their on-class time to what they're hearing and they're speaking. So potentially, like in class, I do a lot of table talk, so the students are rotating around. So potentially, I could have a small group and speak with them one-on-one, and the other students could all be doing speaking at the same time, recording themselves, and all talking at the same time. And I can hear everything they're doing. So it's very different than what anyone in this room has probably experienced. It's very scaffolded, both the series for the students. So
Great.
I don't know if I answered that well. Is that okay?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Thank
yeah.
you.
I would have been so much more effective.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Aren't you glad you stayed?
I know. Sorry.
I am, that's great. Any other
We are glad
questions
you
or
stayed.
discussions? All in favor? 7-0. School-sponsored field trips, approval of those that were provided. Need a motion to approve? Joyce and Judy, second. Questions? No? All in favor? 7-0. And then the acceptance of the school lunch profit loss statement through March 31st. Motion to approve? Judy, second. Kevin? And any questions? Matt's finger on the microphone, right? You want to add something? or-
I just to highlight it, the left column of numbers is the total budget. 17-18 actual is where we are to date in March of 2018, and then 16-17 is where we were to date in 2016-17. So you can see it's trending, fairly close as you look at each of the categories down throughout overall.
Anything? Okay, all in favor? 7-0. We're about at the end. We'll have an executive session, but before then, any other comments about, any other comments about anything?
Just, I really thoroughly enjoy the awards, the commendations that we give out, and the language is outstanding. Dedication and excellence, and I really thought the CTE programs that we offer are excellent as well, and I think they really do apply learning for children in a real business environment or whatever the subject is that they're focused on, but I think it prepares them well for what they're moving to, so it's good.
Damon and I were talking as we were watching them come up, the business handshake, the business look.
That's
There was
right.
this whole demeanor that you saw from those students on getting that recognition. And we don't always hear from the CTA students, so it's a nice change, a nice opportunity to see them, to see their success.
Yeah. Anyone else? No? Okay, then we need a motion to enter, it says anticipated, but I believe we do need one. So a motion to enter into executive session, invited our Brett Provenzano, Matt Stevens, Kate Hill, and Mr. Jim Spitz. So do we have a motion to approve that? Marty, second. Joyce, all in favor? 7-0. When we adjourn or come out of executive session, we won't be making any decisions or other action items. We will just adjourn, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.